It started on a scorching afternoon, the kind where tempers run hotter than the pavement. Dr. Marcus Ellison, an ER physician with 20 years of steady hands and calm under pressure, never imagined that his day off would unravel into something far darker than any trauma he'd faced in the hospital. He had stepped outside to tend to his roses, a simple act of peace in a world that demanded so much of him. But in the world of homeowners associations, peace was never truly his to enjoy. Karen Holloway, the self-proclaimed queen of the HOA, patrolled the neighborhood like a warden. She had a list for everything: how long trash bins could be outside, how high grass could grow, and how often homeowners could park on the curb. That day, she decided Marcus was her target. His hose was stretched across the sidewalk, watering his garden. A minor inconvenience to anyone walking by, but to Karen, it was an egregious violation. She didn't come calmly. She stormed across the lawn, phone in hand, recording him as though catching a criminal. "This is a violation, and I'm reporting you," she barked, her voice carrying over the quiet neighborhood. Marcus, used to panicked families in the chaos of the ER, didn't flinch. He simply turned the water off, coiling the hose without acknowledging her tirade. But Karen wasn't satisfied. She dialed 911, her voice trembling with exaggerated fear. "Yes, I feel threatened by my neighbor. He's hostile, and he's refusing to comply with HOA rules. He's acting aggressive." Her performance would have been laughable if not for what followed. When Marcus finally turned to face her, calm as ever, Karen pulled a small pink taser from her purse. Before he could even utter a word, the crackling sound split the air. The prongs hit his chest, sending volts through a man who had once resuscitated others with his own hands. He collapsed to the ground, gasping as the roses he had so carefully tended swayed above him. Neighbors rushed out, horrified. Phones recorded. Karen stood over Marcus, still screaming into 911, twisting the story to make herself the victim. "He tried to attack me. I had no choice," she cried, her voice shrill. But the cameras captured everything: the calm doctor, the sudden attack, and the smug cruelty in her face before she realized others were watching. The police arrived within minutes, expecting chaos. Instead, they found a doctor, barely recovering, and a woman gripping a taser with trembling hands. The officers didn't need long to piece it together. The neighbors' videos told the story Karen had tried to script in her favor. She was handcuffed on her own manicured lawn, her cries of "I'm the HOA president" falling on deaf ears. Marcus, bruised but steady, refused to let it end there. He had spent years saving lives, standing for truth in operating rooms and court depositions alike. This wasn't just about him. It was about every person Karen had bullied, fined, or humiliated under the false banner of community standards. The lawsuit was swift and devastating. Karen faced charges of assault with a weapon, filing a false police report, and reckless endangerment. Her HOA board distanced themselves, stripping her of power before the ink on the arrest warrant dried. The videos went viral, painting her not as a protector of neighborhood order, but as the caricature of cruelty and entitlement she truly was. Marcus stood in court weeks later, delivering the statement that cut deeper than any punishment. "I save lives every day. My neighbors deserve safety, respect, and truth, not fear, from someone who abuses power for personal satisfaction. If a man like me, who's trained to stay calm under the worst circumstances, can be assaulted like this, then no one is safe." His words echoed through the chamber, silencing even the most sympathetic faces in the gallery. The judge didn't hold back. Karen was sentenced to community service, restitution, and mandatory counseling. She lost her position, her reputation, and her grip on a neighborhood that no longer feared her. Marcus, though scarred by the experience, found himself embraced by his community, his garden once again blooming in peace. The roses he tended that day became a symbol for his neighbors, a reminder that dignity always outlasts cruelty. Karen had tried to strike him down, but in the end, it was her empire of fear that crumbled, leaving Marcus standing taller than ever, his steady hands once again proving that justice, like healing, requires patience and resolution.